Let's talk about it, y'all. Talk about what's going on in the world today. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. 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 And there's no talk about it. What happened? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it. Talk about it.
And they just want.
Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it. Talk about it. Let's talk about it, y'all. Yeah. We back with another one. Thank y'all for tuning in to Let's Talk About It. Now what we're gonna be talking about today is I got some exclusive breaking news, some exclusive footage. This sister here, she actually recorded it with her phone. Actually, the whole incident that happened with Micheal Brown. So, as we get into the show, let's take a look at the footage and see what really happened. Let's go.
Then grabbed her phone and captured video of the aftermath, including images of Brown's body lying in the middle of the street.
God bless his soul. The police shot this boy outside my apartment. They killed him.
America, did y'all see that? Did y'all see what happened? Did y'all see how they just was looking over that boy like he was a dog that got hit by the car? Did y'all see that? That was freaking ridiculous. I mean, come on now, America. Are we gonna tolerate more of that? Are we gonna tolerate more than that? Come on now, that's too much. They was just looking over him, just, you know, that's kind of messed up the way they chased that boy down and was shooting at him. And he, you know, and then as he turned around, they shot him down more. 6 times. They shot him 6 times, America. 6 times.
Now, CNN reached out to the Ferguson Police Department for comment, but so far we haven't received a response. Ms. Crenshaw spoke with my colleague Micheal on New Day this morning and took her back to that emotional moment and why she felt the need to record what was going on outside. And I just want to draw your attention to the part of the video. You actually see the officer in question, Darren Wilson, standing on the right-hand side. Have a listen.
From it all initially happening, I knew this was not right. I knew the police shouldn't have even been chasing this young boy and firing at the same time. And the fact that he got shot in his face, it was something that clicked in me like, no, somebody else needs to see this. This isn't right. I got to record.
So you pulled out your cell phone camera and started rolling. How long after?
Hey, what's happening, America? Yeah, Let's Talk About It. We still on the show. We just had to hit the road a little bit, you know, go take care of some business. But as we do, we still gonna talk about that footage that we just took a look at. Yeah, what's going on? We still at Let's Talk About It. We still on the set. We just had to take a quick run real quick. But as we talk about that footage that we just took a look at about a second ago with the police in Missouri standing over Micheal Brown as they shot him down, looking at him like he was some type of dog or something. But yeah, so you know, it's crazy, man. You see what's going on, you see what's happening, and they want to try to justify. But there's no way to justify that. He was wrong, he was dead wrong. The man ain't have a weapon on him at all. So we need to get we need to get it correct. Politically correct, and there's no justifying what happened. You know what I'm saying? You wrong.
Absolutely. I mean, everything gets her pretty quickly, and then usually during press conferences, depending on where you are, if you're at one of the protest places, you'll hear the press conferences on loudspeaker, and then people are listening intently. And they believe from the number of shots from the autopsy, at least 6 shots, that it was overkill, or if it was excessive, I should say. That's a better way of putting it. But they believe that it was excessive. They believe that obviously his hands were up, as witnesses have been saying. And they also think that the shot to the head, this is in their opinion, their belief, that was over the top. That's what killed him, and that was unnecessary. So yes, it's trickling down. And so actually, there are a number of factors here that we have to really look at, and we have to take an honest look at, and we have to be vigilant about. And that is, number one, the autopsy results that people are not happy with. Number two, the National Guard protesters here are peaceful, and they just want their voice heard.
And Dawn, is there any sense, I mean, every day there's new information and it sometimes raises more questions than answers, but we've just had this news conference from Dr. Michael Baden and the family of Michael Brown with regard to this second autopsy. Has that information filtered down into the street yet, and is there any sense on how it's being digested?
Absolutely. I mean, everything gets her pretty quickly, and then usually during press conferences, depending on where you are, if you're at one of the protest places.
How many times Ferguson police officer Darren Wilson shot unarmed teenager Michael Brown 9 days ago?
But what we now know from Dr. Biden and Professor Parcells' very preliminary autopsy is at least 6.
You're watching CNN. I'm Brooke Baldwin, and we begin with Ferguson, Missouri. Tonight, when the sun goes down there will not be a curfew, but there will be National Guard troops geared up to deal with any trouble. And speaking of trouble, there was plenty of it overnight.
Gas, gas, gas!
Tear gas, Molotov cocktails, the skies lit up again despite the curfew last night. These protesters' message was marred by the bad behavior of just a few. This is according to witnesses there in Ferguson. 2 people were shot, not by police. And tonight it may be even rougher as more and more people are learning just exactly how many times.
Alright, we back from that footage that we just seen. Talking about what happened with the National Guards and the 2 people that got shot, and the cops claiming that they didn't have anything to do with it. But yeah, we back like we never left. Back to let's talk about it. Now we got something else to talk about as we move on. We just we're just gonna get right into the footage. Hey.
Hyde, what would your recommendation be for this community, given what we've seen transpire over the last week, night by night by night? Is the National Guard the right thing to do?
Well, it's a decision about a governor. It's one of the options you've got to be able to bring more police in. In this case, he has 2 military police battalions in the Army National Guard in the state under his command. So whether it's the right thing to do, I think it's a logical progression. When you look at what has happened the last few nights, and the on-the-ground decision is they need more police, then at the disposal is the National Guard. They're well-trained. They should come in well-equipped with modern equipment that's used for crowd control in terms of shields and the right masks and gloves to protect.
See, this weather out here is kind of crazy, man. But this is how we do it when we on the road. Let's talk about it. We still keep footage and we keep up with the weather. Now I'm out here on Camp Creek and the weather's looking crazy in Atlanta, Georgia. Take a look. See what I'm talking about? Back at you with more footage.
Small element of people who are engaged
in the looting. I'm not sure that it is known who those individuals are, but the reality is that I think the community, you shouldn't let 2 or 3 small things spoil the whole bunch. And I think the way that it's portrayed, you've got a lot of volatility. I think that maybe some of what we are hearing might help. For example, I heard you announce that there may not be a curfew tonight. That might begin to help the situation, although the National Guard will be there. But the community, until the community feels some sense of a victory, unfortunately, these kind of things could continue to crop up.
And Martin Luther King Jr. III, we have a very short time left. You're calling for an independent prosecutor.
Okay. It's your boy. I'm back. Your host, Mr. Holland, as I come to you with the end of the show. Let's talk about it. Now, we done went through all of those current events, right? And what was the conclusion that the world has came up with from that footage? Check me on Twitter. Check me on Facebook. Follow me on MySpace. Thank you for looking. Have a good day. And to the Ferguson police, stop shooting our youth. Come on now. You won't.